A human boy entered the most dangerous girl class in the galaxy and smiled, sci-fi stories, HFY beginning. The boy who shouldn't have been there. The first day at Etherian Academy for Advanced Combat Sciences was always a spectacle. Hover banners shimmered in alien colors, boasting the slogan, "Strength is the universal language." The courtyard roared with the sounds of sparring, shouting, and the occasional explosion from over-enthusiastic cadets. Among the towering reptilians, feline like Aenery and crystalline Taverans, one figure stood out. Not for his size or ferocity, but for his humanness. He was short, lean, and wearing the Academy's black training uniform that looked 2 sizes too big. His brown hair was slightly messy, his dark eyes calm but bright. His name was Eli Arden, the first and only human ever accepted into Class X-9, the elite combat division reserved exclusively for female warriors from Deathworld class planets. When Eli entered the room, the chatter died. 20 alien girls turned their eyes toward him, each more dangerous than the last. One of them, a tall, scaled vixen with glowing yellow eyes, snorted. "Is this a joke? A male human? They're letting prey join now." Another, her 4 arms folded and her crimson skin gleaming under the lights, hissed softly. "Maybe he's here for entertainment. Something soft to break during training." Eli smiled, an unbothered, almost peaceful expression that made them pause. "Hi," he said simply, taking the only empty seat, right between the vixen and the crimson-skinned girl. The instructor, Commander Yura, a cyborg with one glowing blue eye, stepped into the room. "Attention, cadets. You've all been chosen for this elite course for one reason, potential. You will learn, fight, and possibly die together. No exceptions." Her cybernetic eye flickered toward Eli. "Even you, human." "Yes, ma'am," Eli replied evenly. A few snickers echoed around the room, but Yura silenced them with a glare. "We'll see who's laughing after the survival assessment. Middle, the test of monsters." The first test came faster than expected. That night, the students were dropped onto Grath Prime, a jungle moon known for its acidic storms and creatures that could crush armor with a bite. The objective was simple: survive for 72 hours and return to the extraction beacon. "Pair up if you want," Commander Yura's voice crackled through the comms. "But remember, only the living graduate." Eli checked his surroundings. Towering fungal trees dripped bioluminescent slime, and somewhere distant, something roared. The rest of the class had already scattered into groups. No one approached him. He sighed softly and set off alone. The first night was brutal. The rain burned faintly where it touched his skin, and a pack of shadow hounds stalked his trail. But Eli was calm, almost unnaturally so. He moved silently, scavenged carefully, and set traps made from vine fiber and sharpened glass leaves. When the hounds came, they didn't find prey. They found their alpha skewered on a spiked trap, and the rest fled yelping. When dawn came, Eli sat beside a fire made from chemical moss, quietly sipping nutrient paste. That was when he heard footsteps, heavy limping. The crimson-skinned girl stumbled into view, bleeding from a gash across her abdomen. Her 4 arms trembled as she tried to hold the wound closed. "Stay back," she warned weakly. "I don't need." "Hold still," Eli interrupted. He tore a strip of his own uniform, used the resin from the moss to seal her wound, and wrapped it tight. She blinked in disbelief. "Why would you help me?" He smiled again. "You're my classmate." Her eyes narrowed. "We're competitors. I could have let you die." "I know," Eli said softly. "But you didn't." Something changed in her expression. Suspicion lingered, but there was curiosity too. "My name's Kira of Varn." "Eli," he replied. "Earth." She chuckled bitterly. "That little gravity world with oceans?" Didn't think they made soldiers there. He shrugged. We don't make soldiers. We make survivors. The jungle learns his name. By the second night, word spread through comms. Eli had not only survived but was thriving. One of the Aenery girls, a sniper named Veshka, had watched him from a ridge. The human doesn't hunt, she reported. He lets the predators come to him. And somehow, they die before they reach him. Kira had decided to stick with him, partly out of curiosity, partly because the strange calm he carried seemed to bend the chaos around them. She noticed things others missed, how he used sound traps made from hollow seeds, how he disguised their campfire's heat signature using reflective leaf paste. On the third day, the real threat came, not from the jungle, but from the class itself. The Vrixen girl from before, Zol, ambushed them near the beacon site. Move aside, human, she snarled. Only the strongest return. That means you die here. Kira moved to defend him, but Eli held up a hand. It's fine. He stepped forward, unarmed. Zol lunged, a blur of scales and claws, but Eli moved differently. Fluid. Efficient. He sidestepped, caught her arm, and used her own momentum to slam her into the ground. Before she could recover, he placed a blade made from jungle crystal to her throat. Her eyes widened. That's impossible. Eli just smiled again, that infuriatingly gentle expression. You're faster, stronger, tougher. But you fight to dominate. I fight to survive. When the extraction ship arrived, only 7 of the 20 girls had made it back. Eli was one of them. Middle the human paradox. Back at Etherian Academy, whispers spread like wildfire. The human beats all. He outlasted all of them. He didn't even look tired. Kira sat beside him in the cafeteria, picking at her meal of protein slivers. You know they're afraid of you now, right? Eli chuckled. They shouldn't be. I'm not dangerous. Kira raised a brow. That's exactly what makes you dangerous. Over the following weeks, Eli's legend grew. He excelled in every simulation, not by overpowering enemies, but by outthinking them. He found patterns others ignored, used the environment, psychology, and adaptability in ways even alien minds couldn't predict. One instructor, a grizzled veteran of a dozen interstellar wars, said quietly after a match, "That's the thing about humans. You can't measure them by power alone. You have to measure them by what they refuse to surrender." Tension in the ranks. Not everyone admired him. Zol, humiliated and bitter, began plotting his downfall. During the orbital training exercise, she sabotaged the gravity simulator, sending Eli and Kira plummeting into a derelict section of the ship. Eli! Kira shouted, grabbing onto a loose conduit as the deck tilted. The oxygen alarm screamed. He looked around, analyzing in seconds. There's a decompression vent, bottom corridor. We can use it to stabilize pressure if we block the breach manually. With what? She demanded. He didn't answer. He had already torn off his oxygen pack and jammed it into the fissure. It sealed the air leak just long enough for the system to restabilize. When rescue crews arrived, Eli was unconscious, his oxygen gone. He woke in the infirmary 2 days later. Kira was sitting beside his bed, arms crossed, eyes glowing faintly in the dark. You're insane, she muttered. You could have died.